Before the victory parade, before the handshake, for the applause that rewrites a man's name into history, here is silence. A silence heavy with self-doubt, silence where most men quit and only a few stay. Debt. Here's what Napoleon Hill discovered that will change everything you think you know about success. In that exact moment of silence, when your back is against the wall, when the world says give up, when even your closest friends whisper maybe it is time to be realistic, that is not where your story ends. That's where your real story begins. Today I'm going to share with you the hidden secret that separates the 3% who achieve extraordinary success from the 97% who live lives of quiet desperation. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's not even hard work. It is something Hill called the iron quality of success. But almost no one understands what he really meant by this phrase. By the end of this video, you'll know the exact formula that Henry Ford used after 5 failed businesses. The same principle Thomas Edison applied through 10,000 failed attempts. The invisible law that Andrew Carnegie whispered to Hill in those private conversations that would later become Think and Grow Rich. But here's the thing. I need you to stay until the very end. I'm going to reveal the most dangerous myth about persistence that keeps 99% of people trapped in mediocrity. Miss this, and you might waste years of your life persisting in the wrong direction. So if you're ready to discover why persistence is not just an action, but a cosmic law that governs all achievements, stay with me. Because once you see this secret, you'll never approach failure the same way again. Chapter 1. The mathematical pattern of greatness. Let me tell you about a pattern so precise it's almost mathematical. Napoleon Hill spent 25 years interviewing over 500 of the most successful people in history. And in every single case, without exception, he found the same sequence. First came the vision, then came the obstacles. Then came the moment of greatest resistance. And finally, breakthrough. But here's what Hill noticed. The breakthrough didn't come because these people were special. It came because they understood something the masses don't. Persistence is not about endurance. It's about transformation. Take Henry Ford. Before he revolutionized the automobile industry, he failed not once, not twice, but 5 times. His first company, the Detroit Automobile Company, collapsed. His second venture, the Henry Ford Company, ended with him being forced out by his own investors. Most people would have called him a failure, a dreamer who couldn't execute. But Hill discovered something fascinating about Ford's mindset during those failure years. Ford didn't see himself as failing 5 times, saw himself as learning 5 different ways not to build a car company. Each failure wasn't a step backward, it was data. It was the universe teaching him the exact combination that would eventually unlock success. This is what Hill called transmutation, the ability to convert defeat into victory, failure into wisdom, obstacles into stepping stones. Thomas Edison understood this principle so deeply that he once said, "I have not failed 10,000 times. I have successfully found 10,000 ways that don't work." This wasn't just positive thinking. This was Edison recognizing that persistence operates according to a law as reliable as gravity. The law states this: every failure contains within it the seed of an equivalent or greater success. But here is the crucial part most people miss. The seed only germinates under one condition: you must persist beyond the point where ordinary people quit. Chapter 2. The 3 enemies of persistence. Now, if persistence is such a powerful law, why do so few people master it? Hill identified 3 enemies that destroy persistence before it can work its magic, and I guarantee you've encountered all 3. Enemy number 1. The comfort of rationalization. The human mind is a master at creating logical reasons to quit. I'm being realistic, we tell ourselves. I'm cutting my losses. Maybe this just wasn't meant to be. But Hill discovered something troubling. These rationalizations almost always come just before the breakthrough. He called this phenomenon the testing point. That moment when the universe seems to throw everything it has at you to see if you really want what you claim to want. Carnegie Steel faced this testing point in 1873. A financial panic had gripped the nation. Carnegie's competitors were going bankrupt left and right. His advisors begged him to shut down operations and wait for better times. But Carnegie understood what Hill would later codify. The testing point isn't punishment, it's preparation. While his competitors retreated, Carnegie expanded. He bought their facilities at pennies on the dollar. When the economy recovered, he owned the industry. Enemy number 2. The illusion of wasted time. The second enemy whispers, "You've already invested so much time. Don't waste any more." This enemy is particularly cunning because it disguises itself as wisdom. But Hill learned from studying successful people that time invested in pursuit of a definite purpose is never wasted, even when it doesn't produce immediate results. Consider Colonel Sanders. At age 62, with a Social Security check of $105. Most people would say his time for building an empire had passed. But Sanders understood something about persistence that his critics didn't. Age is not the enemy of achievement. Giving up is. He was rejected 1,009 times before someone said yes to his chicken recipe. Today, KFC operates in over 24,000 locations worldwide. Sanders didn't waste 62 years of his life. He was gathering the experience that would make his success possible. Enemy number 3, the seduction of immediate gratification. The third enemy is perhaps the most dangerous in our modern age, the need for instant results. Social media shows us success highlights. We see the victory lap, but not the preparation. We see the book on the bestseller list, but not the 1,000 rejected query letters. We see the successful business, but not the months of sleeping on friends' couches. Hill warned that this enemy creates the quitter-s mindset, the belief that if results do and come quickly, they won't come at all. But the truth is exactly the opposite. Hill's research showed that the greatest successes require what he called seasoning time, the period where your persistence is building invisible momentum that will eventually become unstoppable. Think of bamboo. For its first 4 years, bamboo shows almost no growth above ground. But during those 4 years, it's developing a root system so strong that in the 5th year, it can grow 90 feet in just 6 weeks. Your persistence is building those roots. Even when you can't see progress, even when others can't see progress, the law is working in your favor. Chapter 3. The Cosmic Habit Force. The Invisible Law. Now we come to the heart of Hill's discovery, what he called the Cosmic Habit Force. This is the hidden secret that most people never learn. When you persist with a definite purpose, you're not just repeating actions. You're literally rewiring your subconscious mind and aligning yourself with forces beyond your immediate perception. Hill learned this principle directly from Andrew Carnegie, who called it the master key to all achievement. Here's how it works. Every time you persist, despite evidence that success isn't coming, you're making a deposit into what Hill called your mental bank account. These deposits don't pay dividends immediately, they compound. When they finally reach critical mass, something extraordinary happens. The world begins to reorganize itself around your persistence. Opportunities that seemed impossible suddenly become available. People who never noticed you begin seeking your advice. Resources that were scarce begin flowing to you. This isn't mysticism, it's psychology meeting cosmic law. Consider Oprah Winfrey's story. Born into poverty, sexually abused as a child, fired from her first television job for being unfit for television news, but she persisted with a definite purpose, to use media to inspire and educate. Year after year, she deposited her persistence into her mental bank account. And then, in 1986, the compound interest began paying dividends. The Oprah Winfrey Show became the highest-rated television program of its kind and ran for 25 years. Today, she's worth over $2.5 billion. But the money isn't the real achievement. The real achievement is that she built a media empire by persisting with her definite purpose until the cosmic habit force had no choice but to yield. The formula in action. Definite purpose. You must know exactly what you want and why you want it. Emotional intensity. Your desire must burn with the heat of obsession. Persistent action. You must take action every single day, regardless of results. Faith in the process. You must believe the law will work, even when evidence suggests otherwise. Downs. When these 4 elements combine, Hill discovered, failure becomes impossible. Not because obstacles disappear, but because you become the kind of person who finds a way through any obstacle. Chapter 4. The Danger Zone. Why people quit 3 feet from Gold Hill told a story that haunts me every time I think about it. It's the story of R.U. Darby and his uncle, who discovered a rich gold vein in Colorado during the gold rush. They invested every dollar they had in mining equipment and began extracting gold, or everything looked promising. They were making money. The future looked bright, but then the vein disappeared. They dug deeper, they dug wider, dug for weeks. Nothing. Finally, they quit. They sold their equipment to a junk man for a few $100s and returned home defeated. The junk man, however, was smarter about geology. He consulted with a mining engineer, who told him that the Darbys had quit just 3 feet from where the vein continued. The junk man extracted millions of dollars in gold from that mine. 3 feet. That's how close Darby came to riches beyond his wildest dreams. But Hill learned something even more important from this story. Darby later became one of the most successful life insurance salesmen in the country. Why? Because he had learned the most valuable lesson of his life. I stopped 3 feet from gold once, but never again. This is what Hill called the danger zone, that moment when you reach closest to your breakthrough. But the evidence suggests you should quit. How to recognize the danger zone? Maximum resistance. Everything that can go wrong seems to be going wrong. Isolation. Friends and family begin questioning your judgment. Financial pressure. Resources are stretched to their limit. Emotional exhaustion. You feel like you've given everything you have. Logical reasons to quit. Your rational mind presents compelling arguments for stopping. Here is the counterintuitive truth Hill discovered. These are not signs that you should quit. They are signs that you are in the testing zone. The zone where the universe separates those who truly want success from those who merely wish for it. James Dyson understood this principle when he created 5,126 failed prototypes before perfecting his revolutionary vacuum cleaner. Each failure brought him one step closer to the breakthrough. But at prototype 5,125, he was still getting pressure from investors, critics, and even supporters to give up. Today, the Dyson Company is worth over $25 billion, and James Dyson is worth over $5 billion personally. But here's what I want you to understand. Dyson didn't succeed because he was lucky on attempt 5,127. He succeeded because he understood the law Hill discovered, that persistence operates according to mathematical precision. It's not emotional convenience. Chapter 5. The Persistence Formula, Practical Application. Now let's get practical. How do you apply this principle to your life starting today? Hill developed what he called the persistence formula. For steps that guarantee you'll develop this iron quality of success. Step 1. Crystallize your definite purpose. Most people fail at persistence because they're trying to persist at everything. But Hill learned that persistence without direction is like a river without banks. It floods the landscape, but never reaches the sea. You must write down exactly what you want to achieve, by when you want to achieve it, and what you're willing to give in return. This isn't goal setting, this is purpose crystallization. Henry Ford didn't set a goal to be successful in business. He crystallized his purpose, to build a motor car for the great multitude that will be so low in price that no man making a good salary will be unable to own one. Ow. That level of clarity gave Ford's persistence laser focus. Every obstacle, every failure, every setback was filtered through this definite purpose. Step 2. Create your persistence plan. Hill discovered that successful people don't just persist, they persist strategically. They have what he called organized persistence. Your persistence plan must include daily actions that move you toward your purpose, weekly review of progress and strategy adjustments, monthly evaluation of results and course corrections, quarterly reassessment of your definite purpose. Step 3. Build your mastermind alliance. One of Hill's most important discoveries was that persistence is easier when you're surrounded by people who believe in your definite purpose. Call this your mastermind alliance. A group of people who meet regularly to support each other's goals and hold each other accountable to persist when the going gets tough. Carnegie had his mastermind, Ford had his, Edison had his. Every successful person Hill studied had surrounded themselves with people who would not let them quit 3 feet from gold. Step 4. Develop persistence rituals. Hill noticed that successful people had daily rituals that reinforced their commitment to their definite purpose. These weren't just habits, they were ceremonies that programmed their subconscious mind for persistence. Some read their written definite purpose aloud every morning and evening. Others visualized their success with emotional intensity for 20 minutes each day. Still others had physical symbols that reminded them of their commitment to persist. The specific ritual doesn't matter. What matters is that you do something every single day that reinforces your commitment to persist until your definite purpose becomes reality. Chapter 6. The most dangerous myth about persistence. Now we come to the most dangerous myth about persistence, the one I promised to reveal that keeps 99% of people trapped in mediocrity. The myth is this: if you have to persist, it means you're on the wrong path.
Ow.
This myth suggests that when you find your true calling, success will come easily. That persistence is only necessary when you're forcing something that isn't meant to be. This myth has destroyed more dreams than any economic recession, any global pandemic, any external obstacle. Hill's research proved the exact opposite. The need to persist is not evidence that you're on the wrong path. It's evidence that you're on a path worth traveling. Think about it logically. If success came easily, everyone would be successful. The very fact that achievement requires persistence is what makes it valuable.
Ow.
Its nature is a way of ensuring that only those who truly commit to their definite purpose will reach their destination. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no good ideas. His first animation company went bankrupt. He was told Mickey Mouse would fail because women would be afraid of mice on screen. If Disney had believed the myth, he would have interpreted these obstacles as signs he was on the wrong path. Instead, he understood what Hill discovered. Obstacles are the universe's way of asking, how badly do you want this? Disney's persistence through apparent evidence that he was on the wrong path created an entertainment empire that has brought joy to millions of people for nearly a century. The truth about your path: if your definite purpose aligns with your deepest values and serves others while serving yourself, then every obstacle you encounter is not a sign to quit it, a sign that you're rebuilding something worthwhile. The resistance you feel isn't the universe telling you to stop. It's the universe strengthening you for the responsibility of success. Chapter 7. Your moment of decision. We've reached the moment of truth. You now know what Napoleon Hill discovered through 25 years of research. You understand the law of persistence. You know about the danger zone. You've learned the formula for developing this iron quality of success. But knowledge without application is powerless. So here's my challenge for you, and I want you to take this seriously because your future depends on it. Think of the one dream you've been tempted to abandon. The book you started writing but didn't finish. The business you planned but never launched. The transformation you began but didn't complete. The relationship you wanted to build but gave up on. The skill you wanted to develop but decided was too hard. Bring that dream back to the surface. Look it in the eye and ask yourself, am I 3 feet from gold? Because here's what Hill discovered. Most people are not failing because they lack talent, resources, or opportunity. They're failing because they quit 3 feet from gold. Your persistence is not just about achieving your goals, it's about becoming the person capable of achieving those goals. Every day you persist in the face of obstacles. You're not just moving toward your definite purpose. You're transforming into someone who can handle the responsibility of success. Your action steps starting today: write down your definite purpose in one clear sentence. Identify 3 obstacles you've been using as excuses to quit. Create one daily persistence ritual that reinforces your commitment. Find at least one person who will support your persistence journey. Commit to persist for the next 90 days, regardless of results. Remember, persistence is not just what you do, it is who you become. Once you become persistent, it's persistent. With the iron quality Hill wrote about, the world has no choice but to yield to your will. The silence before your breakthrough is not empty. It's pregnant with possibility. It's the universe gathering everything you need for your moment of triumph. Stay in that silence. Stay in that persistence. Stay 3 more feet. Because your goal is closer than you think. If this video has inspired you to pick up your abandoned dreams and persist until they become reality, I need you to do 3 things. First, hit that like button to let me know this message resonated with you. Your like tells YouTube to share this with others who need to hear Hill's wisdom. Second, subscribe to this channel and ring the notification bell. I'm on a mission to share the success principles that transformed my life and the lives of thousands of others. Don't miss a single video that could contain the key to your breakthrough. Third, and most importantly, leave a comment below telling me about one dream you're committed to pursuing with relentless persistence. When you declare your commitment publicly, you activate what Hill called the principle of applied faith. Your written commitment becomes a contract with success itself. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. We're building a community of people who understand that persistence is the iron quality of success. The time for wishing is over. The time for willing has begun. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll explore another life-changing principle from Napoleon Hill's research. Until then, persist. The world is waiting for what you have to give.